How you guys all doing? End of December here, New Year coming up. Hope you guys are really locking in and getting ready for a brighter future. Now, this video is dedicated to one of our viewers, Mohammed, who asked a very insightful question on our most recent video regarding habits every day and keeping your inner chi flowing. Essentially, what it means, a bit of a recap, is the inner energy you have or that spiritual drive that comes out when your girl that you're chasing for 20 years texts you back and you just feel like that flight of energy and you can do anything versus getting laid off. You could find yourself spiraling in the bedroom for 2 weeks not doing anything. So we talked about inner chi energy and how to keep it on. And I want to read Muhammad's question because it's very relevant. That's why we decided to make a video on this. So, you gave an example about someone that is lazy and all sorts of things. Then he gets his inner chi as his ex texts him saying they should meet, and that was a drive. So Muhammad's question was, as an individual, very relevant because this question or problem pertains to everyone in society. I don't care your income level, age, gender, whatever, everyone has this problem. So back to the question. My question is, as an individual, how do you unlock your inner chi or the drive that will encourage you to keep propelling? Very insightful question, Mohammed. This one's for you. So Donnie, I'm going to kick it off to you for starters. How would you address Mohammed's question in simple layman terms?
It's a great question. And the beauty of that question is we're talking about areas of focus, purpose, drive, and all that stuff that we hear on general videos.
Yeah.
How I look at it is you got to be breaking up your cycle into achievement points.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we've discussed these items before. How long does it take to do a rebuild? How long does it take to get to A to Z?
Mm-hmm.
You always hear different statements. You do 21 days, that's a brand new habit. I don't really think it is. People who follow that, and you run into them, they'll say there was a bit of a backtrack from there.
Mm-hmm.
Going through my own journey in life with my own training, my own diet, and so on and so forth, I look at it and say, when you're making fundamental changes, the first 6 to 12 weeks is really the point where your body is going under that mental change.
Mm-hmm.
And you can extrapolate that for keeping your focus, for whatever it is that you're doing in your life, whether it be your studies, your work, making money, debt, whatever the scenario is, you're trying to get ahead.
Mm-hmm.
So I look at it and say, if you're in a point where you get to the first 3 months
Mm-hmm.
in New Jersey, first 3 calendar months,
Yeah.
you're able to say, I pushed through enough days
Mm-hmm.
where I can say XYZ was in place.
Yeah.
So what you're trying to do in the first bit is to get that mental push through to say, I can do it.
Yeah, exactly. And that builds up with the last concept too of just even something minuscule compounds over a little bit.
Yeah, like if we took something really simple, someone says, I'm 50 pounds overweight and I go to the gym, I don't feel confident.
Mm-hmm.
So day 1 to day 100,
Yeah.
I'm going to do 5 push-ups a day.
Mm-hmm.
Day 1, maybe they're not doing full push-ups. Maybe they're half push-ups.
Yeah.
By day 100, let's just say, for example, you can do 30 in a row.
Mm-hmm.
Now you have that mindset to say, I can do it. So Mohammed's question is, well, what happens after day 100?
Yeah.
When you're pushing through.
And the circumstances aren't really in your favor. So let's say you have no sleep, finances aren't going well, life is just, kind of crappy in general. No one's rooting for you, you're ghost. I think he means how do you maintain that drive in periods of darkness, right?
And what happens is when you have that sample size of your previous 12 weeks, 100 days, 14 weeks, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
you can draw on that and say, I did that.
Yeah.
Let's just say out of that 100-day point, using the 90-10 theory, you took 10% of the time off.
Mm-hmm.
You were on point for 90% of them.
Yeah.
As I've gone through my own changes in my life, as everyone does, you reach a point where your mind says, I don't need that 10%. I can minimize how much time I give to that 10%.
Mm-hmm.
I can train and do what I need to do even more because you've got that sample size to say, I was able to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm of the thought that when you're able to take your mind from a point of 0
Mm-hmm.
where you're moving up and moving down and still averaging to zero.
Mm-hmm.
But you're able to push through to enough days
Yeah.
where you can cross that mental barrier and say, I can see changes.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody who says, I'm gonna read for 15 minutes every day, they're not going to see the same vocabulary uptake in the first 20 days.
Mm-hmm.
But they keep at it. They keep at it. By day 40, 50, 60, you're going to be talking differently. Your ability to read with speed and better vocabulary and speech is going to be noticeable to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
The objective is in that first patch of time that you introduce your new energy into,
Yeah.
doing it long enough where you see visible results for
Mm-hmm.
not only yourself at first, but then when people around you are going to say, hey, you're different.
Mm-hmm.
You're doing something you're doing something better now.
So
What?
essentially, you're drawing upon previous success, remembering that, and that gives you momentum to move forward on days where you don't feel like doing it.
100%. I
Mm-hmm.
think what happens is when you've built that initial buffer
Mm-hmm.
to say, I will do it, to I can do it, to I
Yeah.
have done it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you're crossing that point where you're approaching month 4, month 5, month 6,
Mm-hmm.
now you're looking at things and saying, holy smokes, half a year has gone by. Number one, that half a year flew by pretty quick.
Yeah.
We all know half a year goes by pretty quick when we look back on that time.
Mm-hmm.
But if as we're approaching 2026, if I have to say, let's talk about July of 2026, oh my God, that's such a long amount of time.
Yeah.
It's never going to come.
Yeah. That's a lot
It's going to come in 183 sleeps, my G.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to be thinking at that time, I've already wasted half a year.
Right. Right.
But you do small changes. You say January, February, March, or whenever you start your journey, November, December, January,
Mm-hmm.
whatever.
Yeah.
You say, I did that first 3 months point. It wasn't that hard.
Okay.
It wasn't that hard. And now all of a sudden I hit month 6.
Mm-hmm.
So what happens after month 6?
Yeah.
Now your mind starts to say, that previous 6 months was pretty easy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need that time off because I can see visible results.
Okay. Okay. So this very nicely summarizes the structural mindset that you have to have. Of course, law of diminishing return, right? So the first little bit, you're going to get a lot of results. And when time gets tough, when you think that you're not moving forward, you have to draw mentally on previous successes. Now, I have a follow-up video for you too about the spiritual side, which I want to hit the next video of the series. So please like, comment, subscribe, guys. To paraphrase again, what we're trying to get to you is that if you're consistent on making changes, where you can draw upon our earlier videos about how you get some slight wins, and when time gets tough, you need to draw upon those wins for fuel and momentum. We'll see you in the next video. God bless.
God bless.